ZeusDahGoose. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for
Good.
asking.
I'm really excited to talk to you today because we got Evo right around the corner. Your first in-person major besides Dan's wedding bash, of course. Um,
Mhm.
and you're a pretty familiar face or familiar goose in the rival scene at this point. But I think a lot of people, myself included, don't know a lot about where you came from, what you did before this. So with that in mind, let's start with the beginning. Why did you change your name to Zeus the Goose from Ouija 220?
Um, so I was growing up, I loved Luigi a lot.
Hmm.
So there was that really old meme, which was the Ouija meme growing up, like YouTube poops and stuff. And I was just like, oh, I love that Ouija. That's a great name. So I was just like 220. I forgot specifically the reason I did 220. I think it was like an old password or something I used with something. And I was just like, yes, Ouija 220. And then I also realized I spelled Ouija wrong because there's two E's at the end, but I only put one. But I was like, it doesn't matter. No one's gonna know. Um, but one day I came up with the name Zeus the Goose during college because I had a bunch of friends that I would like rhyming their names with. For instance, I had a friend named Gus, and whenever I saw him, I'd be like, "Hey, it's Gus the bus," and I'd do things like that with all my friends. And one day they all stopped me and they were like, "Zeus, we got you, Zeus the Goose," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's such a good name. I'm actually stealing that." And right around that time, I also designed the Goose character that I have. So I was like, "Perfect. I have the character. I have the name. I kind of want to rebrand my whole YouTube channel." And
Yeah.
that's when I kind of just decided, I'm gonna just start rebranding everything, my Twitch, my YouTube, and everything I do to Zeus the Goose, since that's who I am now, instead of like, oh, I'm this guy who likes Luigi a lot.
I love it. That was a really fascinating answer. I thought that was very fun. But now to get into more of the relevant topics of fighting games and whatnot, I saw from your channel that you've been into platform fighters and fighting games for a very long time. And I'm curious what your introduction to the genre was, and when did you get into the competitive side of things?
Yeah. So growing up, I always loved playing Smash. So I would always play Smash 64 with my siblings. And every year, obviously, as time went on, we would get every Smash game that ever came out. So we'd play Melee together, we'd play
Hmm.
Brawl together, we'd play Smash 4 together. So we played literally everything. It wasn't until 2018 when I was said I want to start getting competitive, and I started with Melee because my little brother really loved Melee and he got me into it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This is pretty fun. So I would go to, when I went to college, I was like, hey, you know what? I want to be a Ganon main, and I'm gonna try at the club on campus. I'm gonna play Melee and do my best. And that's when I actually first started dipping my toes into competitive gaming, where I was like, oh man, I gotta, these guys are really good. I gotta start actually like practicing and trying, and it's scary.
Yeah. So college when you
But
started really competing, and I saw with your start that you played a good bit of like both Ultimate and Melee with some pretty good results at the local level. And you said you started with Ganon. Did you play mostly Ganon throughout your Melee career, or were you on a number of different characters?
It was Ganon for like a year, maybe two. But when I started talking to some people on campus who were like more familiar with the scene and competitiveness in general for Melee, they were like, you should switch off to a different character for sure. Ganon's not gonna carry you, but you're like, you got the skills, but Ganon's not gonna be it for you. So I was like, okay, who should I try? And they said you should try Falco. I'm like, the bird? I guess. And I was like, I tried him and I was like, oh, he just kind of clicked. I loved using Falco. And then I kind of used Fox. Then I used a bit of DK, then a bit of Yoshi, then a bit of Pikachu. And I was just like, it would always be Falco with a mix of someone else. It wouldn't just be Falco by himself. It had to be
Mm.
Falco and something. And I just kept going through each character to I was just like, you know what? It's between Falco, Fox, Yoshi, DK, and Pikachu. Those are the characters I loved using the most.
All right. That's not too surprising given your runs with every character in Rivals to Masters that you played a number of different characters in Ultimate. So I'm curious going over to Rivals 2, what drew you to Kragg? Because I also, if I'm not mistaken, you played a little bit of Rivals 1. You played some Malo in that. Is that correct?
Mhm. I didn't play it like competitively ever.
Hmm.
It was something more that people were like, "Hey, we're playing Rivals One. Would you be down to play with us?" I was like, I've never played this game, but it looks fun, sure." And then I would just kind of play it like doubles, stuff like that, silly little things. There never
Hmm.
anything like, "Oh man, I'm gonna try my hardest for this."
Makes sense. So how what drew you to Kragg in Rivals 2 then?
um, so early on when the game was like, they're like, "Oh, we're having like the beta test things and whatnot."
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't really get to participate because like I was working,
Yeah.
so I was like, "Damn, like I can't." I would love to play this game. I helped kickstart it. I want to try it out before it's out. And when I finally got to play just a little bit, I was like, Kragg was not the first character I even thought I was gonna play. I was just like, that guy looks cool, but I don't know. Maybe I'll play Zetterburn because they look like the melee character for me. But
Hmm.
then I don't know. I tried Kragg and I was like, wait, I don't know what it is, but he did the same thing with Falco where he just clicked. He just felt
Interesting.
right.
Pretty different to Falco, I think in a lot of ways. Maybe probably more similar to DK or even Ganon. But it's cool that you find like so many different characters that you can click with across the different games.
Yeah.
And so, like I mentioned, you had some pretty decent melee results, and getting 97th at the last melee coin box is pretty good. And it seemed from the beginning of competing in Rivals 2, you had continued to have pretty good results, getting 65th on the release day coin box, and then at the very next one, the next week, you got all the way to 13th, and then 5th at the LACS qualifier. Um, when you first like got into the game, was there anything you could attribute in particular to your early success, or did you just like play the game a lot because you enjoyed it? How was that start of the game for you?
I felt that I mostly just enjoyed playing the game a ton. I mean, that
Hmm.
still enjoy playing it a ton regardless after so much time has passed now. But I I just had a lot of free time because of my work schedule. So I was like, you know what? I like kickstarted this game. I'm just gonna play it. And I was like, wow, this is so much fun. I'm just learning everything and playing random people on ranked or casual. And when I got into the first coin box, I was like, oh, like I did pretty good. I lost. I don't remember who I lost to. I know one coin box I lost to Cake where I was like, wow, like I know Cake's like a really good player. So like this is what I got. This is something I got to achieve one day if I really want to get super competitive with this. And I don't know. I just kept playing more people, and it felt like results wise things get better. I didn't really practice like, oh, I got to train this move specifically. I just felt that for me playing more helped me understand what I need to work on, and it ended up with really good results.
That makes a lot of sense of that early stage in the game that you're not doing the same like focused grinding or labbing that you might be at this point where like not everyone it's a new game, people are still getting familiar with it. So I think just like more reps, more experiences was a good decision. It seemed to work out for you pretty well. And pretty soon after those early results, you started doing the getting every character to masters runs, and I think that's when a lot of people first got you on their radar. So I wanna ask a little bit about that experience in terms of like what gave you the idea to do it first of all, and um, did you have any goals for it in particular? Were you trying to like see, oh, maybe I should get a secondary? Were you trying to learn like understand other characters from matchup experience? So talk to me about all that as a whole.
So the original idea comes from Zane,
Yep,
where I
absolutely.
remember he was like, "I got to get every character to the master's rank, the highest rank in melee." And I remember just being like, one day I saw it and I was watching him do it, and I was like, "This would be really funny if someone did this for Rivals, because nobody's doing like, at least back then, nobody was doing
Yeah.
much content for Rivals." And I was like, I want to do something silly. I want to make something that people will just be like, hey, I'm watching someone's new journey from a character they've never played and just figuring them out, getting them to a high rank. And there wasn't any secondary in mind, at least at that moment. Um, it mostly felt like I just wanted to do it for fun, but also like it would help me learn, like, oh, this is what this character is looking for defensive
Hmm.
wise, or what they're going to look for to counter this or that. So it did help me in the long run in multiple ways. And I know it helped a lot of people who were trying to learn their specific characters. Like they were like, "Oh, I would come by and watch your stream, Zeus," and I felt like it was really helpful having the coaches explain things and talk to you and seeing your thought process behind things. And I was like, "Hey, like that's also another thing I wanted. I wanted to be able to help the community know that like yeah, everybody starts somewhere." And obviously even throughout some of those runs I got washed by people. I was just like, dang, like I got bodied when some people are like, Zeus, you never lose, you're never losing, Zeus. I'm like, yes I do. Have you seen my runs? I got destroyed so many
Yeah.
times.
I definitely
But
found
yeah.
those valuable. I ended up picking up Maple just a few months ago, and I'd watched your Chuck E. Trees run, and literally like I didn't watch any Maple guys or anything. I just everything I remembered from watching that from the coaches telling you stuff, I just used and then immediately got her pretty much to a comparable level to my other characters at the time. So I definitely found it really, really valuable. And I think it was also just a very entertaining thing to watch, especially how fast you did some of the characters was very impressive.
Thank you.
Now, I want to take a step back from the game itself and talk a little bit about your mentality because you're pretty infamous for having a lot of positivity, good vibes. Even when you're losing in these like deep bracket runs, you're still laughing and singing along to whatever song you got on in the background. So I'm curious, has this sort of always been your attitude in these sorts of situations, or was this something you had to learn over time in competing?
So I think it might be a mix of a lot of things. I know when I was really, really young, I was a kid, obviously, and I think everybody when they're a kid, they get frustrated, they get happy, they get
Hmm.
angry, they get sad. And I had all those emotions. So it's always funny to me when people are telling me, whether it's in my stream or I'm in like a Discord VC, and random people will just be like, Zeus, it's like you never get sad, you never get mad. I'm like, I mean, guys, I'm still a human. I still have emotions. Like I still get sad at things. I still get happy. I can still get angry, but specifically for just gaming and competitiveness in general, I felt like just getting older, understanding like when I got to college, I would notice that there was a lot of times when I played like Ultimate competitively where I'd see people get angry. They'd be like, I hate myself. I'm a horrible person. They'd say all these horrible things about themselves. And I feel bad because I'm like, I don't think anyone should think that. I understand it sucks to lose, and of course, I would love to win. If I could win everything, cool, awesome. But like, you also have to lose to win. Like, you have to understand that sometimes you're just going to be beaten by someone who it was their day. It was their day to win. And you have to see, like, okay, well, whether that was you played bad or good, doesn't matter. You lost. Just take it, understand that you can go again next time. And ever since college, seeing all those people, dude, getting angry, throwing their controllers, different things, I've been like, I love the idea of just enjoying the game. And whatever happens, happens. And I feel like my mindset has just been like that for a good while now, where I just enjoy things. I'm just happy. I'm like, what are the things I like? I love singing. I love playing the game. I'm gonna put on a song. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna talk to chat. I'm gonna talk to people and just play the game and just have a nice smile and enjoy my time. And I feel like it's really good just overall for everybody. I would
Yeah.
recommend.
I think you got the right approach. What really sticks out to me was the Hungry Games run where you got second to Marlin, and now it's grand finals, and you're like still like thanking subs as they come in mid game, and it's just it's a joy to watch. It really is. And speaking of that Hungry Games run, at this point you've taken sets against the best of the best. You've beaten Cake and Marlin in sets, and just about every other top player as well. And might be wrong on this, but I think since the second coin box where you got 13th, I don't think you've placed lower than ninth at anything you've entered since then. And most of the time you're getting like first or second in the smaller brackets. It's a very impressive Start GG resume to go through. With all that in mind, I want to look towards Evo because that event is extremely stacked. It's going to be your first in-person major, so I'm really curious to know where your expectations for yourself lie at an event of that caliber.
So it's my first major
Hmm.
ever. And I know that going in, I'm going to be nervous. Even the past couple weeks, like I've been just like the thought of Evo, I'm like, damn, that makes me kind of nervous. Like, my first major, I'm excited to meet everybody,
Oh.
excited to like just get to game with everyone, enjoy the time. But I'm also like, oh man, competitive wise, Oh no, I'm gonna be so nervous. I'm gonna have so many people watching me. Even though when I stream, sometimes I'll have a ton of people watching me. It's completely different to having people right behind your back who are just
Yeah.
staring at you. So I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. Like I gotta get first place. I have to beat everybody. My thoughts like I just want to do well. I want to do well for my first in-person tournament that's a major level, and get something realistic like maybe top 32.
Yeah.
If I can do that, then I'm like anything after that is a bonus on top of it. But I'm not trying to make myself feel like I have to win because so many people are telling me like already for the past like month have been like, congrats on winning Evo, Zeus. I can't believe you're gonna win Evo, man. And I'm like, guys, you don't understand. That's putting so much more pressure on me. Like I want to just go into this and have fun. I don't want to think about trying to win. I just want to be there to enjoy my time and just enjoy it with everyone else.
I'm not surprised by that answer from you based on everything else that I know and that I've just learned about you today. That makes a lot of sense, and I think that's definitely going to be the right headspace to enter the event with. Just considering the talent at that event is going to be unreal, and a lot of people, a lot of like old smashers, getting to looking to get an Evo trophy, that an event that they haven't had Smash at for ages. So I think this
Yeah, that's
follow alert
cool.
just popped
Yeah,
up.
let's go. Yeah, someone followed.
uh, but no, I think I'm very excited. Hopefully, to get to watch you at Evo. I'm not sure what the stream situation is, so hopefully, you'll make it deep enough that we get to watch. Regardless, I think it'll be a great time. Now, I know you're going to Riptide at this point, and you've talked about how like events aren't necessarily the most like realistic for you unless they're that close. Are there any others that you like your eye in that you might want to enter, or is it going to be, you think, mostly online stuff besides Evo and Riptide?
At least at the moment,
Yeah.
it's mostly staying to online. The reason I got Riptide and Evo were both because of everybody supporting me, which I'm very grateful for.
Like the
Bless
followers we
everybody.
just got just now.
Yeah, yeah, like that follower that like everybody that's been supporting me has helped with donations and the subs and everything that I've gotten from Twitch and all that stuff I've been saving up was to get to Evo, and thankfully we were able to make it, and I was able to bring my partner with me, so it's not
Nice.
just me by myself. So me and her will get to be there. Um
You heard it here first.
and
Bananas winning Evo. Get ready,
Bananas
everyone.
winning Evo.
Beating Plup in Game 10 Grand Finals.
No, I mean for Banana it'd be a clean 6-0.
True, true, true.
But thanks to everybody I was able to get to Evo. And for Riptide, there's some people I know in the community who were also helping me again who are like, "Oh, we'll pay for your registration. We'll help for your housing. So all you have to worry about is the flight." And I'm like, "That's perfect cuz some people when I've said it before, I forgot who I told specifically that also then told it to Wisely, or I think Wisely just heard me say it on a stream, but I said it like, "Hey, it's like over $1,000." Because I'm like, I had to pay for the flight, I had to pay for the housing, I had to pay for this thing, I had to pay for that thing, and there's also everything is far away from me. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it just goes up and up. But I'm like, if it's just flight, okay, that's a lot more reasonable than having to
Hmm.
pay like five other things. It's still a lot, and I would prefer if I just had to pay maybe registration, but
Yeah.
like I'm like I'll take what I can get. So that's why Riptide ended up working out, because they were offering to help me with a majority of things, and all I had to pay for is the flight. So I was like, okay, I can do that.
Awesome.
So any if there's any major that's like with realistic time, like oh you have like 2 months in advance or something to sign up for this, and I can get the help for it, then I'm totally down to go for it. If I can't, that's understandable. I'm not gonna be like begging people that they have to pay me for everything.
Mhm. Maybe
But
just a
whatever
sub
people
goal, a
help me
little
with,
subathon or something to get
a
there.
little subathon maybe. But like if we can make it to another one, I'll gladly go. If I can't, I'll just do the online ones when I can. But
Hmm.
I'm down for whatever that's possible.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to see you competing in person against the best of the best. And now one more question I got for you,
Mhm.
is just if you have any particular goals in mind for Rivals, for your like career, quote unquote, in Rivals 2. I have a tweet here from you from January 8th, 2022. that says, "I genuinely love bringing joy to others. Money and fame isn't too big to me. It's Nito Burrito, and it would be awesome. But as long as I make some people in this world happy, and laugh and get together, then I know I played my part right in life." And that very much aligns with a lot of um, what your like positivity and attitude. It rings true with that sort of thing. So I'm wondering, with that in mind, do you have any particular goals in Rivals 2, things you would like to do, or are you just trying to live that same mentality of like bringing joy to others, which I think so far you've been very successful in?
I That's a really good question. I really do enjoy making people happy. I've been doing that for very long now. I've always thought like making others smile, making others laugh, making others feel comfortable in a safe place, because I know that, the world's scary. The world has a lot of horrible things. It really sucks in a lot of
Yeah.
places. So I always like the idea of being able to make a community that's like, hey, you can come to my streams or you can come chill with me and you're gonna feel welcome. You're not gonna feel like I'm gonna attack you and be like blah 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 for this or that reason. That. My goal at the end of the day will always be that I just want people to be happy. I still am with that exact saying that I said. Everything I tweeted there, I still believe in. I just want to make people happy. Everything would be very neato burrito if everybody could just be happy in this world and just feel comfortable in their own skin. Um, if I do well and I can make people happy, whether it's me doing well at this game, then I'll try my best to keep doing so. I'm gonna keep trying to pump out more silly content or streams and trying to make people enjoy their time. And I mean, at the end of the day, if I become like a really good player, I've said this for a while as well. If I become a really good player who's still like 2, 3 years later playing at the top of rivals, I'm still at the top. Awesome. If I'm someone who's like I get washed and then I'm all of a sudden like down to like the top 50 player or a top 80 or top 100 or even lower, like I'm still going to be happy. I'll still play the game. I'll still be around and I'll still be trying my best to make people happy with whatever ends up happening. But yeah, I mean, I just want to keep gaming, having fun, and hopefully bringing more people into the community as well as those that are in it along for the ride.
I love that. That's a fantastic answer. I think a perfect note to end things on. Zeus, thank you for joining me. And is there any shout outs for where to follow you, or any particular code they should use in the Rivals 2 store? Anything like that you want to
well,
shout out right here at the end?
well, Zeus the Goose on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. Spell it right, guys. Zeus and then the, not like Hungry Box, who spelled the with DA. It's DAH.
Hey, it's very
they,
important.
they, they've never spelled my name right. It makes me sad. But that's me. You can use code ZDG in the Rivals Workshop or Rival Shop if you want to support me. But even if it's not me, support all the other lovely peeps. There's so many codes out there. If you support somebody, it helps you and it helps them. So like literally there's no
It's a
negatives
win-win.
at the end of the day. Yeah. So that's really it for me. Shout outs to Banana Paste. Let's go Banana Paste.
Woo! Winning Evo. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for joining me.
Yeah.